Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and this is Raw review for March 31st. I can't believe it's already almost WrestleMania season. Now that we're entering April, it's pretty much it's time. It's that's what it is. So let's just start off this show. We had kind of similar start, except for John Cena got down there and didn't even get a word. Edge, there's not even a second in there until Cody Rhodes came down, which I thought was a nice touch. Uh, Another just absolutely devastatingly cooked promo on both sides. It's just so brutal because it feels so personal, and it feels like with John Cena, he's just addressing everything that anybody's ever said bad about him, or that he's had to deal with over the years. And I think it's just kind of one of those crazy things because like he even talked about like I don't bury talent, which is just crazy because like a lot of people believe he buried the Nexus, which Wade Barrett was there doing commentary. I'm like, I don't know. That felt very crazy. Like he's like, I don't bury talent. The talent just does isn't there. It's just like, oh, that was crazy. Everything about it. This feud is just kind of a generational feud. I think like the buildup has been great, and we've had not a lot of it to be honest. We've what had three promos, the heel turn, and yeah, I think that's all we're getting. I don't know if we're gonna get any more until WrestleMania. So that's it. If this is the whole feud, that's kind of crazy, and it's been amazing. So I'm gonna put this in S tier. Another great way to start off the show. Next up, we had kind of a surprise with the New Day versus the New Catch Republic with Tyler Bate coming back after 9 months. It was good to see him. I think he's a phenomenal wrestler, so it was just so crazy that he was out for so long, and then him coming back. We have so many people on the shelf right now that's like been here for almost like less for months. I mean, we have Ashka, we have Kairi Sane, we have Ilya Dragunov. Like it's just so many people that are just on the shelf, and finally to get at least one back is a nice thing. The match itself I thought was pretty good. I don't think there's anything too crazy with it. I think they definitely were running it just to be like, this is going to be a good match. We're going to have the UK crowd on the New Catch Republic side, but the New Day pulled it off to try to get them that ability that they can now challenge for the tag team titles. I think it was a pretty solid match. I'll put it in B. Next up, which I didn't know how this match was going to be, but Gunther versus Jimmy. We'll go into the match and then we'll go to after the match. The match itself was pretty standard. Jimmy kind of did the most of the offense that he normally is used to. Gunther looked pretty decent out there. Both of them did pretty solid. And Jimmy's 14th match already of this year, which is just crazy. I thought it was pretty solid. I'm gonna put it in B. I like the match. We kind of knew obviously Jimmy was gonna win this, but it was still believable and sometimes, or he looked like he could possibly pull up the upset, which then led to, him tapping out Jimmy, and then Jimmy, basically getting attacked again after the match. Jay coming down, saving him. Gunther retreats, and then after the commercial break, they were trying to get away, and then Gunther comes back and zip ties Jay and just beats Jimmy down so badly, and him just trying to grab Jimmy is just God, that was cinema right there. It was crazy, and I think it really shot this feud into a way better air, like way better things that they were doing. Because like honestly, a lot of the feuds they're solid and like they're cooking, but like this one was a little stale. It like was just kind of chugging along, but I think this definitely added that extra layer to it, and definitely can show like Jay's gonna have to be a different person to beat Gunther, and we might get a different version of Jay here. And I like it. I like this whole storyline. I think it's gotten a lot better. This part definitely make it S. It really just needed Jimmy to be injected in there and really have more on the line for Jay. Now that he has now kind of like a revenge thing on top of also just trying to win it for himself. Then we had Penta and Braun Breaker versus the Judgment Day, kind of a makeshift tag team with what happened last week's on the main event. So I honestly I thought it was a pretty good team up for Braun Breaker and Penta. They actually had some really good in ring chemistry. Obviously, the Judgment Day is the Judgment Day, but overall I really like this match. Ended with Penta accidentally getting speared by Braun Breaker, so I think it, protects everybody pretty solid on it too. And I thought, yeah, I like this match, and I want to see what happens. This feud seems like this could also be almost turned into a fatal four way at some point because Judgment Day has their own inside fighting. So, yeah, we're gonna put that up there in a. Next up, we had the AJ Styles and Logan Paul thing. I'm not a big fan of Logan Paul at all. I feel like he's okay in the ring, but just really terrible outside of the ring. So it's kind of hard to even just see him out there and even get this platform. But he's here to stay, so you might as well, I guess, see whatever happens. This little thing back and forth. I think it was like actually surprisingly, the crowd actually really killed AJ Styles, even though they were behind him. They just kept messing up his cadence, and he just kind of seemed like he struggled a little bit, and which isn't necessarily good when he's pretty decent on the mic, and that Logan Paul is gonna try to eat him alive out there, and it kind of happened. So I'll put it in B. The feud's still in its infant stages, but I think we'll get a WrestleMania match out of it. Which spoiler, we will, because that's gonna be on the last part. Then we get to the main event, which was Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley for the women's championship with Bianca as the special guest referee. Now, like we already knew this was going to be a little bit of one of those like crazy stupid things because you're going to have the guest referee that's not going to be able to call it down the middle or something's going to happen and she takes two bumps and then called it a double DQ. I think the match itself was doing really good and I just kind of hate that it ended up in a double DQ. Even if it was just like Rhea who got disqualified, I think that would have worked a little bit better than it just being a double DQ. It just kind of felt like why did they do it that way? I know they're trying to set it up that they can make this a triple threat, and I still like that idea, but a regular DQ could have worked just in the same. But the double DQ just kind of seemed very odd. But it was a good match. I definitely thought the match was the one of the better ones of the night. I would definitely say it was like the best match. I just think there was a few things that they like messed up on, which was just really minor things, but enough to not really probably put it in that S category. So I'll put it up in A. It was a great match, great main event. Next up, we'll just discuss AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. It is officially set for WrestleMania. We kind of knew it was coming anyways, but we got the um, it's officially made. So I think it's going to be an okay match. I'll put it in A. I think the match will be okay. The feud itself going into it, I think will be okay. I think it's definitely going to be one of those matches that AJ Styles needs to win because it's just, he needs like that big W going into the new year, into the new cycle of shows. So hopefully that happens. But yeah, I think overall the show was a pretty solid A. I thought it was a pretty good show. Last European show, we're going to go back to having the regular time, which is gonna really throw me off because I kind of enjoyed having it early because I had like all day to be able to watch it compared to like when I watch it at like 7, it was like I can't watch it ahead of time. So if I happen to not be busy, I could have watched it, but now I have to wait. So that part kind of sucks. But I think overall, the European trip was pretty fun. A lot of the crowds were really good, and I'm really excited to see this WrestleMania season. Don't forget also to check out some new stuff on the channel. We're gonna have daily videos like always, but especially right now going into WrestleMania, we'll probably have 1 to 2 videos a day. Plus, we've been working on some shorts. So a little bit of edits, a little bit of just kind of funny moment type stuff, and I'll be doing some other type of shorts in there too. So definitely check out the channel and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.